你有没有想过，为什么投了几百封履历才有机会换来一个面试 ？LinkedIn 上那些让人尴尬到脚趾抓地的正能量发文，看完你可能会开始怀疑，现在找工作到底是在拼实力，还是在拼谁更会演？今天的中文单字是诈骗、封建制度、求职者、淘汰。
So one of the only constants in the human experience is this. The only thing worse than job is no job. Being unemployed puts you in this weird desperation mode. All of a sudden you're panicking and checking job postings like it's a Twitter feed. You're digging through your closet to find a somewhat presentable outfit to wear on a Zoom call. And for weeks you spend your time visiting prison-lit office spaces or glitchy Zoom calls and talking to someone who has your entire future in their hand. Every interview is like a first date, except it doesn't end with a chance of physical intimacy. It ends with the chance of you getting a job that you're eventually going to hate and you're eventually going to get fired from, and the cycle continues every year and a half. Getting a job sucks.
I remember this very clearly. I filled out a job application on top of an old pizza box, and I put my availability that I couldn't go to work in the morning and I couldn't work on my raid days.
Unlike LinkedIn recruiters, I'm going to tell you the cold hard facts. I'm not just going to lie to you and say you're perfect for a job through some automated message and then put you in a database of 3,000 people to pick from whenever they need to fill a position. Being unemployed is no fun. At first, you're just on like a mini vacation. You're playing video games, you're eating cereal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But then the days begin to blend together. Your homies aren't around to play video games with you. You're just filling out applications in an endless loop of sadness.
If you're unemployed, that's one thing. But what if you're just not employed? Because like being unemployed means you're trying to go for a job. But like if you're not employed and you're not trying to go for a job, I feel like the only real problem you've got with that is money.
If you are currently in the unemployment pickle, fear not, because you are definitely not alone. Over 6 million people are unemployed in the US right now. The good news is there are currently 9.5 million jobs available. Turns out those unfilled positions, those positions all are bad. They all suck. All those jobs that are available, they all suck.
This is like working at the Amazon fulfillment center. The only thing that you get there isn't fulfillment.
According to my research, fast food, warehouse, and retail jobs are projected to have the most openings in this decade and the next. And if you've ever worked on one of those positions, that shit sucks, am I right? And it's only getting worse over time. People are getting beat up.
The worst part is that like a server gets beat up at a restaurant and then the restaurant fires the server.
College is a goddamn scam. A scam, sadly, that we are all pretty much forced to take part in. Currently, millions of jobs require you to have a college degree, even for jobs that the people who are in right now don't have college degrees.
And the worst thing about having a college degree is it's hard to lie about it. Because that's one of the things you kind of can't make up.
For example, only a third of administrative assistants have bachelor degrees right now. But 75% of job postings require you to have one. So do you see the discrepancy? Do you see why things aren't correct? A college degree is pretty much a, hey, I am desperate and in a lot of debt coupon that a lot of corporations want to see so they can understand that you're malleable before you go into the position. According to LinkedIn, 60% of employers reject qualified candidates just because they don't have a college degree. This has led to a term that researchers have called degree inflation.
There's a lot of reasons why somebody doesn't go to college. But I think that in general, they want to have somebody that goes to college because it can imply a lot of other things like, you know, family stability, life stability, etc.
It's just one way employers weed out applications because according to LinkedIn, every job has at least 118 applications. And after that, only 20% of those applications are contacted by an interviewer. And because of those tough statistics, on average, you have to apply for 200 jobs before landing one. 4 years of experience for an entry-level position just to get a Zoom call. But how does one get to the interview stage of the job hunt? Do you know how technology keeps advancing? You know how that train keeps trucking, even though experts warn that we should probably slow down a little bit? You'd think with all this godforsaken technology, things would be getting a little bit easier for the common man. Things would be getting a little bit better, would you not think?
They are getting easier for the common man if it's considering the man who's hiring. Absolutely. Yeah, you have better technology and it's easier to find people. It's not even a question.
Like the internet and LinkedIn would make it easier to get a job, right? Wrong. Wrong. One of the worst parts about being unemployed is the amount of time you have to spend on the demon portal that is known as LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a place that combines job postings with social media of the world's largest corporate circle.
I've never made a LinkedIn profile. Because every post that I've ever seen from somebody in LinkedIn is like, how can I say this without it being bad? Every post that I read on LinkedIn, if you took a spectrum between being a normal person and being a terrorist, it moves me closer to that other side of the spectrum. I think that's the best way I can say it.
This mix of toxic positivity, corporate ethos is a very important part of getting a job nowadays. So LinkedIn is one of the largest job posting boards in the world, with over 59 million companies having LinkedIn pages. A number that makes you think, 59 million companies? That's a lot of branches off of the main 10 ones.
Individual businesses and like really small
every
ones,
minute,
yeah.
6 people get hired by using LinkedIn. Sounds fantastic, you know, that sounds like terrific turnaround until you realize that every second 140 applications are sent in. So every minute there are 6 people getting a job, and every second there are 140 people looking for a job. So if you're trying to get a job on LinkedIn, not only do you have to fight against every other person on the planet for every job, and you have to wade through all the terrible job listings, you also have to wade through the people who post on LinkedIn.
Yesterday I was walking to an interview, there was a starving dog on the road. I stopped to feed him and I missed the interview. The next day I got a call asking to come in to do the interview. I was surprised, but I went. And then the interviewer came in, he was the dog. Yep. This shit's crazy. Obviously, this one's a joke, but some of them aren't.
For some reason, linked influencers, which is a real term, are people who just post the most bootlicking, insane shit I have ever seen in my entire life. Let's just look at some of the ones I was able to pull. Let's see what we got. We have Nicole, who is a multi-industry transformation leader. You can tell these people all suck because their jobs mean nothing. This morning at my local coffee shop, the owner said to me, "Your HR people sit around, do nothing, and earn the big bucks." Without thinking, I blurted out, "We carry the emotional labor of our organization." What value would you put on that? Silence. What would you have said? Hashtag human resources, hashtag HR community. No one cares about HR people. You guys suck. No one has ever left an HR meeting and thought, man, those guys should be getting paid more.
The funny thing about HR is that everybody says that HR is used by woke people to suppress normal people, but then woke people hate HR because they say that HR is being used by normal people to suppress woke people. Basically, everybody hates it.
Jay, whose job title is I help law firms optimize their PR and marketing and whatever. It's all bullshit. Abraham Lincoln was a thought leader and content creator. If he was alive today, I bet he'd be actively sharing his ideas on social media, not only as means of pursuing political office, but also to build his legal practice. She's just spouting nonsense, dude. Then we have Peter, who is a proven SEO specialist, boosting revenue for online. See, like, none of these titles can fit in the title because you're blabbering.
I think most of these people, one thing that you can tell with a lot of these jobs is that all the people in these job positions have positions that are based off of non-quantitative results. Like SEO specialist boosting, all the people that have all these like high values and everything, these are people that are generally not actually creating what the business is there to create.
Since 2015, I've struggled with peeing in a public What? I've missed weddings, held my pee up to 10 hours, social events, and going out in general because I was too afraid I was going to pee or not. I've been doing exposure therapy, which is immensely helpful. So good luck looking for a job while you're looking at that stuff, because how does anyone pay attention? How does anyone get any work done when they're on LinkedIn? Because people are just saying insane things all the time. So when looking for a job on LinkedIn, it's important to know what exactly you're looking for. And I'm talking about the bullshit job listings. First of all, we got the scammers. That is a huge problem on LinkedIn. In 2021, 32 million fake accounts were identified on LinkedIn. Fake LinkedIn accounts are trying to get your personal info and money as fast as possible.
Now, if I was a scammer, I would go on LinkedIn too, because anytime that you can take advantage of somebody who's desperate, it's so easy to do, right? Because like they want it to be true. So they will believe things that they shouldn't believe because they want it to be true. Yeah, of course.
If you think about it, it is shockingly easy to get a lot of personal information out of somebody if you just pretend you have a job for them. Think about any online job you've ever applied for. If they reach back out to you and ask you for your social security number and your birth date, you're just gonna give that to them. And on LinkedIn, it's really hard to identify whether it's a real company or just some dude in Turkey who's trying to take out a boat loan in my name. So remember when I said you had to put up 200 resumes to get a job? Well, good luck not letting one of those be a scammer, because that's, you know, it's a big net to cast. So let's say you're dealing with a for sure real company that has a real job posting. Lucky you. Well, good luck figuring out how to get that job, because the things they are asking people to do nowadays are insane. When I wrote this script, I typed an entry position on LinkedIn and I pulled up the first one. And this is just a grab in the bag. Look how crazy this is. This is for a digital content
$15 an hour
specialist, because that's the closest thing I could say besides internet clown that would fit my description. $15 to $20 an hour, which is not great. It's on site, not remote at all, and it's contract work. So they're doing that so they don't have to pay you insurance. Here are all the things you have to do. And let me remind you, this is an entry-level position. Administer in-house creative needs for the digital marketing team, supporting over 40 frontline artists. You are in charge of 40 people. Create animated assets for social media banners, online graphics, advertising assets, Spotify canvases, visualizers, kinetic lyric, and deliver both short form and medium form videos of social media and streaming platforms, editing various behind the scenes content, create video compilations and artist highlight reels for internal and external presentations, manage quality control and ingestion of video content from external creatives. When needed, work directly with freelance creatives an hour. So those are just the responsibilities. Now here are what they need from you before they even start talking. Extensive knowledge of the Adobe Creative Cloud, utilize Outlook, Monday, Sony CI, and proprietary asset systems to manage project scheduling and archivals, ability to work with both Mac and PC, willingness to go above and beyond for project deliverable, ability to interact comfortably and effectively with employees and company at all levels, including executive management, positive attitude and team player, and preferred 1 to 3 years of graphic design experience in music and entertainment business. Let's say you put your head in the sand and ignore all those red flags I just told you. Well, congratulations, you got your first interview. But sadly, interviews are no longer about how firm your handshake is or how presentable you are during the interview. Well, it is 20% that. The other 80% is jumping through thousands of pointless hoops to let your future employer know that you have zero self-respect and are easily manipulated. I mean, speaking from experience and my friend's experience, nowadays, every time you do an interview, you have to do homework. The industry calls these job interview assignments, but I like to call them huge wastes of time. Personality tests, problem-solving quizzes. Most job interview assignments should only require a few hours to complete. If you're in the coding industry, they make you do full projects to prove to them that you know how to code. If you go to Reddit, there are thousands of stories of people doing these coding projects and then the company just ghosts them and takes the code they made. What are you supposed to do to get a job without getting screwed? Are we just supposed to all work for our daddy's companies? That seems like a big step back to feudalism.
By the way, guys, this is what we're going back to. You see this right here? We're going back to this triangle. It's happening as I speak.
So there you have it. Jobs and LinkedIn more specifically are a sludge to get through. But quick fun fact, if we all just stopped working, everything would get better for everybody in America. So I don't know, maybe make a Facebook page?
I don't even know what to say. I had no idea it was this bad. You should do a job application stream. Well, here's the thing. Like, I never wanted to have a job, so, like, there was never a job that I actually really wanted. Actually, that's not true. I wanted to work at the IRS. I liked working there, but other than that, I never filled out a job application that I wanted to get a call back for. The only time I did it was for money. I never wanted to have a job, and the way that I always tried to make money is I looked at it from the perspective of, like, how can I get somebody to give me money? I never really thought about, like, how to get a job. I just thought about how can I get someone to give me their money? Or how can I take their money away from them and not get in trouble? One way or another, how do I put their money in my pocket? And that was it.
影片结束了，来公布今天的答案：诈骗 （scam）、封建制度 （feudalism）、求职者 （applicant）、淘汰 （weed out）。A big step back to feudalism 不是说大家真的要回中古世纪，而是在讽刺。如果最后每个人都只能靠家族、靠关系去公司工作，那感觉就像社会退回靠出身决定人生的封建时代。Weed 原本是杂草，所以 weed out 字面上就是把杂草拔掉，后来就延伸成把不合适的人或东西淘汰掉。